Hi, I am Sudhindra Fadnis. Welcome to the Uvezu Book Club. The main purpose of a book club is to make students fall in love with reading. So with that in mind, the book that we have chosen for this month is Candide, written by Voltaire, which is considered one of the greatest classics ever written. It is considered one of the greatest works of the 18th century. The main purpose of this book is to make students think critically, and though this is a French translation, the standard of English is excellent. Christopher Hitchens said, anything that is extremely popular, just question it. And that is what our kids are going to do in this book session. They are going to question the very popular idea of eternal optimism. And by the end of the book, they will learn that optimism should always be balanced by realism. Reading books like this will help students develop their critical thinking abilities, score well in ACT, SAT tests, write better essays, and ultimately get into the college of their dreams.
In the book, the main message which I got was, it was mainly a critique of the overly optimistic mindset which is being pushed in a lot of cultures, especially nowadays, so I think it's still quite relevant. So essentially what happens here is the positive mindset, generally it makes happiness the goal when it should actually just be a product of any other thing you're trying to achieve, and this book actually tries to show that. And also positive mindset tries to make happiness like some idealistic thing where happy people are constantly happy, which is not true. So once Candide realizes that, only then can he actually feel like he's happy, because he's not pursuing happiness directly.
So what I thought from the book is that you shouldn't always be optimistic, but as they say, you can't have light without the dark and dark without the light. You shouldn't always be optimistic. There should be some pessimism in you too. I thought about this for a while and how to apply this in real life skills. So for one example, when you're applying to college, you shouldn't always just think about one college that you really want to go to, and you should put as much thought and consideration into other applications that you're putting for other colleges as well, because you're not always going to get to the college that you really want. So you have to prepare backup plans.
My takeaway from the book is that money doesn't buy happiness. So towards the end of the book, even though Candide has all the money that he wants from El Dorado, all the jewels and all the gold bars, he's still not completely happy. He learns when a Turkish man comes that money doesn't buy happiness, and instead he chooses to invest in a farm, which does bring him true happiness.
The anti-role models in this book are Pangloss and Candide. So Pangloss is usually very optimistic, and he's always happy no matter how dire the situation. And no matter what, he never seems to be realistic, even when it's really needed. And for Candide, he thinks that happiness is something that you can always find and you can always search for, but in reality, it's something that can be that's given out when you're doing something that you really like. It also explains people take many drugs because they have the notion that they think that happiness can be found, so that's why they take drugs to make them happy. But in reality, that's not how you find happiness. That's more of a short-term happiness. A long-term happiness means that you should be doing something that you love. That means that long-term happiness basically is doing what you love or passion.
Is the main character in the book, and he learns to be optimistic from his master Pangloss, no matter what happens. But then after Pangloss dies, he also learns that being optimistic every time is not helpful.
Miss Cunegan was the love interest of Candide. She was the daughter of a really high baron. So she liked Candide, but she couldn't marry him because her family wouldn't approve of the marriage. So she decides to just marry a governor and live peacefully.